Okay. Hi, fish. Let's see what 2025 is bringing us. Great timing on the entrance. It gets a little bit sloppy, just a little bit, with the movement coming in. Angles of the legs look really good, although uh, let's I want to go back here just a bit. There. Watch the rear rank. You can see not everybody is there, and it looked like it was just the rear rank. So don't need to listen to the report in. Um, I know it's tradition. It's just quite long. Anyway, technique looks quite good throughout. We've got a left hand that's too high. We can see forearms are all quite level for the most part, except right here. So even though this is exhibition drill, you're all performing the same position. So, and since most of the team is totally uniform, nicely done. Since the whole team is mostly uniform, then that would suggest that everybody needs to be uniform. The timing there was just great. The long pause, it builds up the anticipation, which is really good. Now here, maybe 3 years ago or so, I was talking to uh, the staff for the team and mentioned that the drill design shouldn't have the commander in the front. So let me, before I continue on with this, I need to explain something. So you have there. Okay. So now, as I'm talking and I'm moving around or I'm showing you different things, I've got the microphone in the way. I'm not communicating clearly. Now, you might be able to hear me, you might be able to understand me, but the visual part, what you're seeing, really isn't coming across all that well. And still, it's not great. This is much better. Now it's picking up my voice. You can see me, almost all of me, just a little bit of my arm is blocked, and that's good. Here, the commander is blocking everything for certain people. All right. Now, if you're off a little bit to the side, the commander is still blocking. Either side doesn't matter. And let me go back just a bit here. So he marches back towards the team, and I don't know exactly why, but he's not performing. He's just standing there like a wall. Now, obviously, it's not a huge wall. You can see the performance, but it would be so much more clear if the commander wasn't there. Now, the side steps also quite strange, honestly. I appreciate the exchange there of the four. That was interesting. Now, even though this can seem a little parochial with having the two ranks moving in front of, doesn't the train engineer know that you're performing? So what I was going to say is, even though this seems, or this can seem a bit parochial, it's still very good. This is this is military flavor. This is what the crowd expects from the fish. But I don't understand the commander being here. Almost in line with that rank, and so as the ranks pass through, the alignment isn't that good. It can be so much better there. But the commander marches through almost in line with this now middle squad or middle rank, but then ends up centered. I can understand that. That works. That's fine. But why, if he marched towards the team before and then over, why is he marching backwards to gain a certain distance? Which is that's fine, gaining the distance, but you just defeated the whole purpose of him marching over, doing the side steps. That just doesn't. There's so the fish drill team. Here's the basic level. The fish drill team march at a more than intermediate, sometimes even advanced level. So if we had all of the scale right here, fish are here with the marching technique, the marching skills. Even though, just like the silent drill platoon, even though they march a standard manual of arms, so to speak, they perfect it. That's what you've done with the marching technique. You've perfected that, and it works really well for the fish. So then, all right, so the team is here, and then the commander is sidestepping, and that's here. So you've just brought the level of the performance, and it doesn't have to be, but you've brought the whole level of the whole performance so far back down. You've juxtaposed the excellent marching technique with a parochial movement of sidesteps. Now, if the commander wasn't in the front and at the back, nobody would be paying attention to him anyway, and he could do that and sidestep if he needed to get to a certain position. I don't think it works. A little bit of phasing there on that spin. And it looks like some butt slams are being hit on the toe so that the rifle ricochets just a bit. So now I have to ask, and I get it. I don't know exactly where this is. I've been to the campus before. I've seen this area. Don't know exactly what it is. But okay, so you have people all around you watching the performance, and that's fine. People can gain a certain appreciation from all directions. But why is, since the team commander reported in towards the camera this way, this direction, why is the commander facing away? And will, so if it's to include people at the back just for this performance, fine, not a big deal. But if it's in the performance, say at Tulane or wherever else, then the the position of the commander should be facing this way, because you've set the precedent of the report in being this way. That means the performance, the stage is set for the performance to be pointed this direction. Now, all the other three, the two sides and the rear, the other three directions, they're incidental. Like I said, you can still appreciate the performance in the on the other three sides, but the main side, the performance side, is this way. So just something to consider for when you go to a competition and not just a performance like this. I like this. I really do. That works really well. Nicely done. Good recovery. Excellent split up into the long line. That that was great. So just to give you an idea, you might want to vary the ripples instead of it going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. You might want to have a good catch on getting the helmet out of the way. That was very good. Uh, as one ripple begins, then you can have another, so that there's more than something than the usual to continue to watch. So before we continue with that, so you have uh, this, the ripple starts and then another, and they're both going, and then they finish. And then instead of just going back and forth, go inside to out, outside to in, um, and then every other one, go slower, go faster. Slower can be with the hut yos. Faster can be visual, and just like you have here. Um, it's variation is going to really help you be more effective in the performance. So the the exchange here. We have knee bend over here for the catch. I just wanted to see over here. So at least a step out for catching. All right. So what that indicates to me is that the training staff maybe hasn't communicated to the team that an exchange, no matter what the exchange is, an exchange in rifles has to be 100%, 100%. The 100%, the first one, is going to be on your rifle until it leaves your hands. Once it leaves your hands, then your concentration is on the rifle coming towards you. It splits just like that, but you have to concentrate on your rifle and not be concerned with the rifle coming towards you until it's time to be concentrate on your excuse me, on the rifle coming towards you. So 100% the rifle leaving you, then 100% the rifle coming to you, and then your exchanges can be much better, and you're going to develop that muscle memory with the rifle leaving your hands so that it doesn't fall short, it doesn't go too high, it doesn't go too long, etc. Or out, like we've seen in a couple of different uh, techniques here. So why have them mark time all that time? And if it's to complete the sequence of the commander calling left, right, that's not really a good enough reason. Although I understand it, it's a, it's just like a phrase in music. It a phrase can repeat uh, and then be logically finished. It will sound like it's finished, just like and it, that's this is singing to a certain extent. So this is a musical phrase of left, right, and going on and on and on. Uh, but that the marching in place, how is that an effective part of the sequence? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 22. All right, so in 14 counts, the team got to where they are. And they went into the low 30s. What was 31 steps? Seconds, when you only have an 8-minute sequence, seconds, just mere seconds, account for so much of the performance. And that just, again, fish are drilling here for most of the sequence, and then all of a sudden they're marching in place. Now we're back down to basics. We're back down to this is a. I know that this is a freshman team, but take my point here. We're looking at junior ROTC. The freshman team, they march in place a bit. They do they will march to a certain position and then stop and then work their rifles. Then they'll march to another position, stop, work their rifles. They haven't gotten to the point to where they can merge working with the rifle and marching at the same time. And so they're building up and they keep building up. And by the time it's 2, 3, even 4 years later, the team is doing so much more complex movement. And here, you're marching some complex, uh, relatively complex movement. So, and then all of a sudden we have, and this was great. You know what I expected was that either these two over here or these two over here, they then turn around and march towards the others. Then they pick them up and march the other way, and or vice versa, whichever would happen. It seemed to logically fit, especially with the middle two going back out, and then it could have. There was so much more to do there instead of just marching in place. So, speaking of marching in place, do you have the team point their toes down? Do you have the team point their toes down? Or do you have them see the toes pointed here? Also, do you have them bring the ankle forward? The ankle that's lifted, do you have them bring it forward? Or do you have it travel straight up and down? So uniformity of technique, because some are bringing the ankle forward, some are pointing toes, some have the ankle traveling up the opposite lower leg, which is the proper technique for regulation drill. Doesn't necessarily have to be for this, since it's exhibition. But a uniform technique serves you well. The double cordon worked well. Now this is a great position for a report out. Nice and powerful. Again, 100% concentration on your piece of equipment, rifle and the modified guidon. And then the three tetrads, essentially. A little more than tetrads, but still, it's same effect. That's also very powerful. So, and this here, you had there, you had a great report out position, but then from here, see, you had that powerful position, and then essentially what you have is just lining up in twos, in a very basic formation. Again, so the design has come back to, um, and even the report in, it's just a platoon, just a rectangular formation, the usual platoon formation. The report in, report out, a little bit extended, but everybody's at present. Nothing special, nothing memorable happening here, and yet the design of the rest of the performance, more or less, is more complex, more thought provoking, But here the report in and now the report out, kind of parochial. Okay, so you perform in, but you don't perform out. Now maybe here you haven't. This is before 2 lane, so maybe you haven't put the finishing touches on the performance. I'm hoping that you have something for the report out, or after. Yeah. So the report in, report out, very basic, and then just order arms, and then right face, right shoulder, and marching off. It doesn't leave any lasting impression on your audience. Now, of course, the whole performance, everybody there loves the fish, guaranteed. I love the fish. It's every single team is unique. Every single team does a fine job. They really do. And that's not just the performance. The execution here was very good. I know they're all freshmen and they've only been doing this, what time is it type of thing. It's just been a short time, and they are at this high level of execution. But I'm also addressing the design team, and the design is just not happening. Not, um, yeah, it, it could be better in places, much better. And uh, performing off would really be that curtain call moment that you would want. Man, I want to see that again, or I want more. That type of thing. This is just, it's finished. We'll see you, and we're done. You've left it all on the field type of thing, which you got to give your 100%, absolutely 100%. But this just kind of finishes everything, as the performing off gives the hope that, oh, maybe we can see some more, that type of thing in the audience, even though they know that it's finished. That's the whole sequence. But there's that feeling that the audience likes to have, and here it's just, nope, over and done with. Stamp, done. All right. So I don't mean to end on a negative note. Like I was saying, the execution was very good throughout. Some places I noted a couple of things here and there, but really the the performance of the freshmen just were was very good, and the design in most of the performance was just fantastic. It really was. You know, at an intermediate level, but that execution, has a synergistic effect, and makes it so much more. So, all right. I hope my comments are helpful, and thanks for the request. I appreciate it.